So there's three things that come from Capt Art. The three hottest tips that will make your experience better, will increase your production at the rail. And I tell this to everybody when I do a seminar on the way out. And those three things, the number one thing is to talk to the crew. We get novices all the time, and then maybe they're a little skittish, or they're shy, and they're new to the operation or new to the boat, and so they don't ask questions. And so the number one thing for everybody to know is that when you come on board the boat, introduce yourself to the crew and say, hey, can you help me out with this tackle, or what's your favorite knot to tie? We're out here every day. We're professionals, we're good at what we do, and so we're just a great source of information. And so people need to use that source of information. And so if you have any doubts, or if you have any questions about your tackle, or the boat in general, or the bait, or how to tie a knot, with fluorocarbon and spectra and all these new innovations in tackle, there's connections that need to be made, and so our crew are experts at that. And so that's the first thing that I would recommend to everybody, is make sure that you talk to the crew. We're just a great source of info. The second thing is to make sure that when we're offshore fishing or anchored and using live bait, that's our primary way of catching fish, is that you need to have the liveliest bait possible on your hook. That will increase your production. You want to spend a little extra time at the bait tank and actually select the bait that's going to work the best for you and get you a bite. And the third thing is drag setting. People sometimes have the attitude that, you know, if my drag is a little on the looser side, I won't lose my fish. Well, that's the wrong attitude to have. You need to have the correct drag setting for the line class that you have, and that's one of the most important things. You don't want to have your drag too loose and spend more time on the fish than is necessary and end up in one extra tangle that you didn't need to be in. So those three things: talk to the crew, have a lively bait, and make sure your drag is set correctly.
All right. Now, do you have a favorite lure you like to use?
A favorite lure?
Well, Celia said you did.
A favorite lure.
We're going to send everybody to the stores to go find it, right?
Well, you know, my favorite kind of fishing is with the surface iron.
Surface iron.
And with a long rod, so that you can cast long distance and fish in the surface. For yellowtail at Cedrus Island is one of my favorite places, San Benitos, wherever I can throw a plug out there in a Tatty 45 or a Salis 7X sardine in color. One of those surface jigs that swim really well with a slow retrieve is without a doubt one of the best ones. Kicker has good surface irons, but I think that historically Salis 7X and Tatty 45s are the number one surface iron, and so that's what I would recommend if you're going out on a trip where you can actually use a surface iron. If you were talking about fishing tuna, probably Braid Products has a blaster that works really well, and something that's similar to that is a mega bait. Mega baits work really well for tuna with 30 or 40 pound casts, and you can cast it off the bow and let it sink, and so those two things would be something that you wouldn't want to leave behind in your tackle.
Oh, right on.